Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of Wonder Woman Says. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's been quite a wild night for me and my fiance. I'm not gonna go into the actual details. I'm just gonna kinda say, things can kinda happen when you least expect it.
I saw a bird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been quite the night. But anyway, we're here to review some more comics, and we got some good ones in store for you this week. I know I like them. I know you're going to like them too. Because we're going to be reviewing comic books from a pair of Batman's, how should I say?
Rogues Gallery.
Yeah, but they're not the traditional villains, at least not anymore anyway. They've kind of grown into anti-heroes. Hell, one of them is technically Batman's wife now. Well, last week, DC officially took it upon themselves to give one of these Batman villains a series of her own. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Poison Ivy.
Yay.
I never thought I'd see her get her own series, but looks like hell froze over, don't it? Must say I like this cover too. Yeah.
Humanity has a chance.
Yeah. Well, first page we see these dead cows. They're in Wyoming right here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I like how, I'm just gonna say this, in this particular store, they're like kind of showing everything from the perspective of Poison Ivy from a long note that she wrote.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that narration.
Well, it kind of looks like it's the animals saying it, so it's like Mark Trail.
Yeah. But yeah, so we see like the farmers that own this land that these dead cows are on. Of course, they see what's happened and they freak out because this is what they make money from. Yeah. Of course, we see none other than Poison Ivy herself. Of course, the farmers like to know what happened here. Of course, one of the farmers so enraged, he thinks that Poison Ivy is one of those Greenpeace protesters, even though she's not. Of course, he like pretty much demands to know what happened to his cows.
Oh, cow's probably off somewhere saying, of course.
Of course, Poison Ivy tells him that she pretty much gave them like a source, like a dose of I'm trying to see how you pronounce it. Well, she pretty much like gave him like this dose of something that she got brewing. Of course, she told him that, they didn't suffer before they died, though. Of course, he don't care about that, though. Of course, he pretty much threatens to kill her. And then she pretty much like kind of threatens to kill him. Of course, she eventually does. She sprinkles some of her poison into his system.
Mushrooms, no less.
Yeah. And it pretty much collapses his face and kills him. And then she gets off on her way in her van. She starts to head off to Seattle.
Now, whatever you do, start your very next sentence with, of course.
Of course. Okay. Of course. Yeah.
Goofy. Well, I love her hair, though.
Yeah. They really drew her really well in this book. Poison Ivy, we see like her mind state through these excerpts from her note as she drives off to Seattle. She starts pondering the future, thinking about her past as well.
Also, this is a beautiful panel right here.
Yes, it is.
Looks like something out of the movie Rango. You ever see that?
No, I never seen it. What was it about?
Yeah, it's a Western, but it's got like animals, and it was actually animated by Industrial Lights and Magic.
Oh, I might have to look at it sometime. Well, of course. Poison Ivy stops at this bar to wind down for a little bit. Of course, she gets a drink. She kind of somewhat start flirting with the bartender a little bit. But then she starts thinking about her relationship with Harley, thinking about how it ended.
Oh yeah, they're on yet another break.
Yeah. It start flashing back to how Harley kind of betrayed her. Harley's pretty much begging for her forgiveness. At least right here, it kind of somewhat looks like they kind of reconcile, but from what she's talking about in the note, they're like separated again. But as she keeps pondering that, these two men start coming up to her. Of course, they really attracted to her, but she's not really interested in them at all. But of course, they won't let up.
Okay, how about this? Instead of saying, of course, say Natalik.
What?
It's German.
I don't know no German. I'm too busy practicing Italian. But
Well, say of course in Italian. At least you'll mix things up a little bit.
well, she heads outside thinking that she's not gonna be accosted by these two guys, but they make the mistake of following outside and they won't let her go. They think she's some kind of prostitute and she start offering her some money. She's not interested. This leads to a fight. Needless to say, she takes care of them. Well, I could go into some more, but I know we get into the middle of the comic.
Looks like she's gonna mushroom again.
Yeah.
Natalik.
Yeah. I could go further, but since this is a new comic, I'm not going to spoil what happens in the end. I'm just going to stop it right there.
So it was a little hard to see the text from where I'm sitting. What was the deal with Harley?
That was a flashback to the past.
No, I got that. But like, what was the reason that they're on break again?
I know from what I remember reading, like Harley and Poison Ivy just kind of kept arguing. They kind of drifted apart. And they just decided to separate from each other. She's pretty much on her own again now.
Yeah.
I must say though, it's a good first issue.
It is.
We kind of get things rolling. I don't know what's gonna come out of this series, but I hope they make it last. Cause that's kind of been the thing now with comics. They don't seem to let it go past maybe 40 or 50 issues before they reset everything.
Well, that's because first issues are so valuable.
Yeah. I don't know if this will be valuable one day or not, but of course I'm not gonna get rid of it though.
Out of 10.
I think I'll give it a 9. I really like the artwork. I think DC is making some of the best comics right now, and the art is really improved because I've been reading several DC comic releases this year, and I've been impressed with a lot of them. This one no different. I think DC is just on the A game right now. I hope DC keeps it up. I like how they're giving all these characters a chance to shine on their own instead of just being in the background somebody else's story. Because I think this is long overdue for Poison Ivy. See, they've been together so much this last decade. I almost mistakenly called her Harley.
I mean, it is a little annoying that DC's idea of keeping the story fresh is to make characters couples break up and get back together all over and over. It's a little Marvel for my taste.
Yeah. But I do think it was a genius idea putting them together because I think they work really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got blast in the past today?
Well, we're going to go into the first issue of another, I guess you can say, former Batman villains series. Taking you back to 1993. This is the first issue of Catwoman.
Natalik.
That cover is wonderful right here. This is just pure art.
Yeah, I know people like to complain about what they call the sock boobs, but I've always loved that costume.
Yeah, it looks. Except the one, even though the one in Batman Returns was black, this looks just like that costume. Yeah, look like the one Michelle Pfeiffer wore, just a different color.
Oh, it's more in line with the classic Batman comics.
Yeah, of course.
Not the leak.
Right off the bat, we see Catwoman doing what she does best.
I love how like the first line of it is, "It's Catwoman."
Yeah, I like that too.
It's jumping right into the action.
Yeah, Catwoman's doing what she does best. She's in the middle of yet another art heist. Well, actually, it's not my mistake. Not an art heist, actually a jewel heist. Of course, she's
Not the leak.
she's doing battle with the cops as usual. The cops wanted to stop what she's doing and surrender, but we all know that's not gonna happen.
Man, why does the law seem to take it into their own hands to stop people from committing the perfectly natural act of stealing jewels from a museum?
Yeah, the Catwoman pretty much disposes of the cops with relative ease. After taking care of the cops, she bounces outside, bounces to freedom with the stuff that she stole.
And an ad for Meteor Man.
Yeah,
Longtime viewers of this channel know that we love us a Meteor Man.
yeah. This was, oh yeah, I'm gonna say something about this. When you read these comics from this time period and you see Meteor Man all over it, you would probably think this was some blockbuster film back then. But unfortunately, this film was a really big flop, even though it was pretty good for what it was. I think it was a tragedy, too, all this talent that was involved.
Yep, that and the Robert Townsend show really killed Robert Townsend's career.
Yeah, Robert Townsend is very underrated. This is an underrated movie that deserves a reboot now. Yeah, back to what we were talking about.
Sock boobs.
Yeah. Catwoman meets up with her associate, or in this case, associates. The man she's working with, Leopold, bought somebody else because they're all working for Bane now. Of course, the way they got it set up is Catwoman steals the jewels or whatever is being stole. And then she pretty much gives it to the man to take back to Bane, and the Bane likes it, and she gets a cut of the pay. That's how they got it set up now. And Catwoman and Leopold head back to Catwoman's apartment where they pretty much meet back up with Arizona. They tell Arizona what's been going down.
Presumably drink some of her amazing tea.
Yeah. Of course, after Leopold goes, Catwoman and Arizona talk some more. We find out how Catwoman found Arizona. Of course, we get a brief appearance from Batman from this flashback.
I can't remember. Is this from during the time period when Catwoman was a former / part-time prostitute, or we move on to a different continuity by this point?
Oh no, this is from that time period as far as I remember. Yeah, this is from that same time. Yeah, Catwoman's like taking in strays and stuff like that. Taking in runaways.
Got some of those John Byrne lips right there.
Yeah. And pretty much Catwoman, true to her style, she actually kept a couple of the jewels for herself. Even though she was supposed to give it all to Bane, but she makes it known Bane doesn't run her.
Good for her.
Speaking of Bane, go to his office. We actually get a shot of Bane without his mask on. He's there with his men.
You know, he looks like the guy from the Hellfire Club. What's his name?
In Marvel, right?
Yeah, Sebastian Shaw.
But yeah, you see Bane conversing with his men, talking about how he's running Gotham with an iron fist now. he started flashing back to his childhood and how he became who he was.
Again.
Yeah. And of course, we see down here how Batman got his back broke by Bane. They don't show the actual act, but they show the aftermath of it. Where it has Bane in the position he's in now. He pretty much got control over Gotham because this took place during the epic Nightfall series.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah. Of course, you see Leopold come into Bane's office and Bane starts asking Leopold if he knows anything suspicious going on with Catwoman. Of course, he says no.
Doing the of course thing again, babe.
But then Leopold starts to tell Bane about the latest targets that Catwoman has planned to steal from. Shows in this magazine. They all agree to do it. And they're about to have this kind of celebration. That's when they're going to strike on this couple and have these riches and jewels. Of course, Leopold takes the payment that was pretty much being offered for the stuff they stole, even though we don't see them actually take it, but it happens off panel. But then right here we see a mysterious hitman coming to town.
Is that like Hitman, the character? Kind of looks like him.
I don't think so. I think it's somebody else. Well, like the hitman is looking for Bane. But somebody tells him to get the Bane. He could go get the Catwoman first and try to bring him out. And he starts looking for Catwoman. They tell him that they know somebody who knows where the Catwoman is. Heard about the couple that's gonna get this stuff stolen having this celebration. Of course, Leopold is outside as the lookout, and Selena goes in to infiltrate. But then, of course, we see the hitman come to Leopold.
And of course, the Swahili word for celebration is Kuchi Chakunia.
Interesting.
Yeah, stop saying of course.
Yeah. Before I say anything, I'll say I love this scene right here.
Hold still. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I love this scene that's getting ready to take place right here. So, this man believes it's Tiffany, one of the people that's being celebrated tonight. But of course, he doesn't know it's really Selena. Selena's seducing him. Selena pretty much takes the jewels in unsuspecting fashion. And then it's like after she's finished seducing him, she walks off with the jewels quietly. But then lo and behold, the real Tiffany comes in. And then he starts to wonder who was that other person he was talking to that he thought was Tiffany. And later on, you see Catwoman and Leopold in Arizona at the apartment celebrating that they pulled off another heist. And they're pretty much enamored with all the jewels they took this time. Leopold, of course, takes the jewels back to Bane, even though, of course, Catwoman takes it upon herself to keep one of the rings that she stole, but unbeknownst to them, the hitman is across the street with a rocket launcher. And it's aimed right at Catwoman's apartment. Before she could even react, he pretty much blows it to sky high. That's the cliffhanger for this story. This is the part 1 to an ongoing series right here.
That was a very toyetic ending.
Yeah, I like that cliffhanger. I think that was a really good first issue with the second Catwoman series. There was a mini series before this one in '88. I think that's where the stuff you talking about came from, her being a prostitute and all that stuff.
Yeah, the whole Frank Miller era.
Yeah, that's pretty much continuing from that. I think the artwork is very good for early to mid 90s comic. I love how Catwoman was drawn in that. She looked very good in that issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I love how they had her pulling off them heists like that. That was a really good touch. And I kind of had to get used to her working for Bane, but I guess that's whatever, because she kind of bounces from people to people all the time.
Mm-hmm. So 4 out of 5. I mean, out of 5. I meant.
Out of 5.
You're probably gonna say 4 though, because I said 4.
I think I give it a 4.5.
Well, there you go.
Great first issue. I think it's well worth the read if you like Catwoman, if you happen to like 90s comics, so you just in the mood for a good comic book in general. I would definitely recommend this. It's not usually going for much at all. You should be able to score a copy for maybe $2 or $3. This ain't really worth that much money despite this being a #1.
All right, so what can we look forward to next week?
Well, it's kind of up in the air now, but we're going to have another show for you. Don't worry about that. You can always count on us to deliver something for you that's worth watching. I know we enjoy filming this. I know you enjoy being here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be something Pride related, right? Because not that one. Yeah, definitely got that DC Pride right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll figure something out. It is Pride Month still.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to say again, happy Pride Month to all the people out there that are LGBT and all that kind of stuff. Whether you in the closet or out, you still valid. It all matters,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so remember to
hit like and subscribe and
ring the bell.
Yeah, and definitely keep viewing us. Oh yeah, I want to say too, I took a look at that thing earlier. We had 910 views. That just made me so happy.
Yay.
Yeah, like we definitely thank you for the support. Just keep doing it. We gonna hit 1,000 soon. I can't wait. It only took us about 6.5 months, but got me overjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
So tune in next week for more quality content, and hopefully by then I'll have gotten her to stop saying "of course" so much.
Yeah, we'll see you next episode. Thanks for the views. Just hit like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Love ya.